Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Savannah by Night here on the Midnight Dispatch, where I'm sure nothing quite as involved as previous sessions. What was it? The Suck Squad? Was that what happened at the end? All
Group
aboard
Suck
Ellie's
2024.
succubus. But I'm glad this particular debauchery is not the only thing that happens on the channel. Sam, would you like to lead us in?
Oof. Let's see. I hope you are ready for the spin-off series of Starvivor, because that's apparently a show that exists in our episode of The Deadbeats, where we introduced a brand new player character who is a champion of Starvivor called Parvati. They were able to rescue them through initially what was supposed to be a really very scripted reality show to suddenly actually being threatened by real laser gunfire. And it looks like next week is gonna be a bit of reveal about some of the lore that they've been chasing down. So get ready for either big secrets to be revealed or for someone to be like, I knew that already. We'll find out.
And do you have anything going on Saturday?
I do. On Saturday, we will continue our stream through Silent Hill F, which is very much psychologically damaging for me. I think currently we're at the point where you are you're going through the village with some of your friends, one of whom is very jealous of you and has already pushed you down the stairs once. So definitely is not going to try to kill you at any point during this game. But that will be a little later in the afternoon than usual, but it will still be happening on Saturday.
Gotcha. And Martel, what do you have going on Friday?
Well, Friday we're going to be playing some more Star Wars. We're going to be doing more Starfighter stuff. I've heard rumors that perhaps there will be a bombing run. That there's going to be a facility that we're going to be assaulting with our ships. Should be pretty wild, guys.
So you're finally out of the tutorial for
we're
the
going
the
full
flight.
Star Wars.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that'll be over at Knights of Silvermoon.
Yes.
Now, unless there's anything else to talk about, I think it's time for us to tell a fucking vampire story. Last time on Savannah by Night, Cora and Poppy were seated in a private lounge in the professional domain of Ava Lash and tasked with probing one another with penetrating questions. It started off light and almost bashfully innocent as they groped around for hidden, intimate truths. Eventually, Cora inadvertently yielded up that she had a twin sister. Seemingly to keep the sharing fair, Poppy confessed that she had an acrimonious relationship with her sire, and that he had sent her a cruel reminder of their time together. Upon finally leaving Lash's establishment, the Ventrue asked them once more what word they chose to bind themselves with. The pair agreed on coterie. Artem and Ellie decided they would finally go after the gator they tagged some nights back. However, instead of going just by themselves, they corralled the rest of the coterie. Meeting up back at Wormslow, they piled into Ellie's van and ventured out into the ominous marsh that was so much of the eastern half of the county. They tracked the gator out to one of the islands connected by road. Pulling the van over, they quickly devised a plan of attack and crept out into the marshy wilderness together. But as they got ever closer, the alligator could taste their collective approach. And whether it was by sheer virtue of Artem taking point, or it firmly remembering him from the last time, it made an imposing charge straight for the Slavic gangrel and clamped its jaw down around his leg. The rest all swiftly descended upon it with, at first, conventional means. But one by one, they realized the truly effective weapon they all had in common, and sank their teeth into the prehistoric living fossil. After all, the coterie that eats together stays together. Now, the newly christened coterie were able to wash away much of the unpleasantness from the collective kill on the gator, though they are all far from truly pristine. You are all able to pass through the gates of Wormslow, though not without some degree of scrutiny and follow-ups, especially given the still palpable tension of the guards being on high alert. But your respective cars are reacquired. Poppy is the first to head out, as she's going to want some considerable time to thoroughly scrub off the marsh before retiring to her otherwise, assuredly, perfectly arranged bed. And while Cora and Artem have a bed to move, this does otherwise leave Chris and Ellie to their own devices. Before we get into that, is there anything you wish to say to each other before you break off? You're in the parking lot at this point.
Thanks for indulging in my curiosity that the tracker works like a charm.
Good to know.
Now I have to just find some new test subjects. If there are any volunteers.
Given what happened to the last thing that was being tracked, I don't know that I'm super excited to join up.
Oh, that was just to test it out. I mean, listen. It's not immediately mean unless you end up being very tasty as gator frog. Never mind.
Did you even get it back?
It was in the middle of a meal. I have a lot of extras.
Cool.
But yeah, so the next step, I am supposed to eventually meet up with Costello to see if maybe I can help us out with some leads. But for now, I think we might just have to wait, considering everything that's been going on.
Yeah, and I got some of my own research to get into.
Chris is going to look around the parking lot and at Ellie's like, look, don't take this the wrong way, but maybe we shouldn't all be lingering together right now, here.
Looking like we just won mud wrestling.
Look, that's unrelated, but yes.
Yeah, I get the picture. Well, you two have fun with your mattress.
Cora's just gonna smirk.
What?
I mean, I got time to kill after.
Well, I don't have to go back immediately. Back to the house?
How about this? Why don't we go somewhere else? Artem will pick you up later.
Okay.
Make good choices.
No. So, Ellie, where do we want to go? Because I don't want to stick around this fucking stuffy place right now.
Okay. Well, let's see. There's always a dark alleyway where no one can find or hear you scream. There's always the park. There's always.
Oh, you're talking about. You're still hungry. Okay, I thought this was going a very fucked up direction for a second.
No, I was talking about places I can generally go without risk of being discovered.
Okay. Fuck it. Let's just head out of here. I'll follow you.
Do I know of any like places that maybe like because I feel like Lila is the type of go, you know what I might do is I might text Lila and I might just say, do you have any like any do you have any outing recommendations for someone like me? So, do you have any bar or club recommendations for someone like me? There it is.
Okay. After a couple minutes, you do get back. Are you thirsty or are you hungry?
The beautiful mind starts calculating everything. It's like looking for a place to chill.
You get back,
which is not what Lila does. I'm now realizing.
Of you don't know what she does all the time. And to that point, you get a map with a series of pins dropped into it. And we can revisit that after you head out.
Sounds good.
But in the meantime, I believe Artem will be clambering into Cora's car as they head back to hers.
Yeah. Cora is going to pause Artem for a second. Just wait here at the door for a second of the car. And as it's like the passenger door is open, and then she's gonna reach over to the passenger seat and like push the
All the
slide
way
on it
back.
and push it as far back as it can go. Poppy was my passenger a minute ago, and you are
Hmm.
different sizes.
Funny, I thought you were gonna say your car was dirty. All right.
Well,
Thanks.
it's about to be. Cora sitting
that's true.
there in the borrowed band t-shirt and leggings from Poppy, still pretty muddy. But that's okay. I know someone who can detail it for me.
Who do you have for that? Oh, Titus.
Well, Jimmy, who I won the car from.
Oh.
Titus will make him do it.
I was gonna say, did you win him with the car, or
In some ways.
oh boy.
We'll have this conversation as Cora's pulling out of the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like we have a habit of volunteering you for things. Now you're going to be picking up Ellie later.
Yeah, I
Correction. Chris will be picking up Artem at Cora's
that's what I
place.
thought.
Okay.
If you want to rejig that a tiny bit.
No, it's fine. Maybe Cora just misunderstood.
And I guess Artem will sort of shrug and be like, "Well, I'm not gonna be the main tank for the party all the time, but you know, sometimes it makes sense."
I have to admit, I'm not familiar with that expression.
Oh, it's nerd shit. I'm not even sure how to explain it. It's like the guy who gets the big thing really mad at him and everyone else goes around.
Okay, that makes sense. You don't tend to get things mad at you so much, though.
Can be a life-limiting move in these in these times, I guess.
Yeah, it can be. I mean, frankly, even the way you hit Lore, it was from behind. You
Yeah.
didn't see it. Could have been me.
Could have been. Could have been. Yeah, I assume she has an idea, but no, that was pretty impetuous on my part, honestly. She's been kind of low grade, pissing me off for a while, but like she's never said anything or done anything to me specifically, so it's like, you know, you can't really. But then she grabbed Poppy and slammed her against the wall, so you know.
Yeah. How do you
This is
feel about having an enemy?
bad.
Sure.
I don't think it could have been avoided, but this is a world where you take until someone stops you, and she was trying to take from us, so we had to show her that she wasn't going to be able to do that.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Just knowing it's not the end of it is interesting.
Yeah, this whole society, fake smiles, daggers in the back thing. I don't know, man. I'm not built for this shit.
No. More of this kind of thing. And Cora's gonna take one hand off the wheel for a second and like kind of pull on the shirt and create like a little dry mud dust cloud.
Yeah, that's always a little easier. the dirt doesn't get mad at you and then come hit you back 5 years later.
No. No, generally it doesn't. And, I'll keep driving.
I'd say you're able to cut through the limited amount of traffic at this time of night. It's fairly quiet. Take the, I believe the Harry S. Truman Parkway.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much all the way to where you need to go till you turn off, round through the historic district, as you are now aware of someone who lives very, very close to you, basically on the other side of the park from where you are.
Yeah, in fact, let's drive down the road near Poppy's and be like, wave to Poppy, and then pull into my place.
Mhm.
You're gonna want to get out before I park the car. The garage is
Oh.
pretty tight.
Yeah, okay, here. He gets out, closes the door, gives a little pat.
Okay, I'll back in, climb out, close the garage, and then walk around the front. There is a door to the garage, but it's just easier to do it this way.
Sure.
You would
Right, let's see,
notice, Artem, that well, you've seen the interior of the house now, but the garage is more of an afterthought, especially in consideration for this car,
Mm-hmm.
in the sense that Cora can't just like open the door and very easily get in and out. There is something awkward and undignified about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it definitely the backs of this unit where Cora lives too. You can tell that this garage addition was made to her space, but not all of them have these. One is like a yard with like little urban garden going on in it. One has like a whole bunch of bikes and bike parts all piled in it. There is one other garage, but yeah, it's an assortment.
I imagine it's in its day, it was probably like a sunroom or something, and then they converted it, and it may or may not be up to code.
Absolutely. She'll go ahead and walk around the side. You guys will walk along the through the alley, because all the parking is in the back there, and then past where all the trash cans are at and like the utility boxes. They're not numbered or anything. You can't tell which one goes to which place. And then Cora's is right there on the corner. So walking up the very small porch. If you touch the railing there on the porch, you know that notice that it really wobbles something fierce.
Could probably fix that if you want me to.
Could you? I'd appreciate that. Yeah,
Give it a look when we're done here.
I'll owe you something, but small.
Don't worry about it.
I wish I had a Foley artist so I could make like the key noise in the door, but she'll go ahead and open that up and enter into the space where white paint peeling a little bit, normal wood floors that have seen better days.
Mm-hmm.
Nails sticking out in some places, creaky. Then the mattress right there, basically, almost in their way, kind of pushed into this space here that is only an entryway. Like it goes off to the side, and then there's a little landing and like the stairs up, and then like kind of a walkway loft space to the rest of the apartment. And then the place where the mattress is like straight forward, another really narrow hallway to aforementioned door to the garage. Which, seeing that from here, you can tell, yeah, if she were to open that, she can maneuver her way to her car there probably, but it's difficult.
Mhm.
Well, here's the item.
Mhm. It's Artem's kind of looking around the place, and he's like, I can take a look at whatever you want me to take a look at.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Don't worry about it. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they set me up with something to start.
Yeah.
But I do own the place technically legally, so I think as far as mortal laws are concerned, as long as we don't change the outside, we can do anything we want to it.
Just let me know.
That's great. You know, so we don't get these dirty, let me run upstairs real quick. You come too.
Sure. Yeah.
And then there's another door, also with a key, to get into the main apartment. It looks like this was probably a space that maybe at one point in time, like I'm sure Artem with his knowledge of construction, home renovation, might see the spot in the wall downstairs where there was like an entry into a separate space off of that like landing area.
Yeah.
But it looks like it's been sealed off and created into just the entry for Cora's apartment and then the upstairs unit, with like mostly neighbors directly beneath her. So, but
Graham,
she'll
can
run
I?
in.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, Graham, can I roll perception and home renovation to see if I can notice any evil secrets that Cora hasn't noticed yet?
Oh, that'd be awesome.
You know what? I
This
would say
building,
in this case, it would be perception, craft, assuming you put anything into that. Unless you have another argument.
Perception. Yeah. That's craft home renovation. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think that makes sense.
Are you looking
Unless you
for
wanna give me
something
appearance.
specific?
Say again?
Are you looking for something specific as you do this?
I think I have a pretty good idea of where people cheap out, specifically on apartments. So I think I'm looking for something that like maybe there's one area that's suspiciously painted over much more recently than everything else. So like maybe there's black mold back there or some fun shit like that. Just something that's potentially like really bad and that the owner of the place has not has covered up.
So this is less you're looking for dirty dark secrets and you are activating Home Inspector.
Pretty much, yes.
Okay. We're gonna put this out of 5.
Okay. Okay, 5 is great. That's 3.
3. Having started from the outside, worked your way in by rounding the fact that this is a corner unit, you actually get a lot more information about its makeup than you would by any of the center ones. This is a fairly old development in the sense that row houses, townhouses are in this town. If they weren't part of the initial burn, or one of the burns many years ago, this is probably at least 100, 120 years old minimum.
I believe Cora's building, when doing the research, was late 1890s.
Wasn't far off. Anyways, so the foundation, the literal building blocks are fairly solid. it's likely had to go through re-renovation once or twice in that time. The exterior paneling has been redone once or twice, and maybe more than that due to the weather conditions that tend to sweep through.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also in a not ritzy area. It's that strange thing where you go a block and a half over, you find opulent estates where Poppy lives, things that have, historical relevance, and go back over here and it's things that are, they've seen better days.
Mm-hmm.
Even the church in front of her has a bit more of a rundown aspect to it. The diner that you would approach on the way here is not depressing, but there is something oppressive about the dim, dingy neon as you go by it. And it's that sort of just not as economically strident as other areas.
Mm-hmm.
And you do find some of that in, well, the aforementioned peeling paint in a couple of areas. Nothing too egregious. And yeah, there's one or two areas of like the paint and drywall that do seem like it is covering up. Maybe damage, like if someone like tried to nail a painting into a place that was not meant to support the weight.
Yeah.
You're not finding any like black mold or anything like that. You're not finding cracks in the foundation. It is older. There is a little bit more of an inherent draft. But given that you might feel cold but rarely bothered by cold, it's kind of a non-issue.
Sure.
The main thing you would notice more than anything else is a bit of an echo due to very little being in the house.
Yeah.
Sound kind of just continues unabated. But overall, you're finding little to be ultimately concerned about. There's things that can be fixed, updated, swapped out for something that's a little less bargain bin. But overall, nothing to be overly concerned with. It is since her name allegedly is on the paperwork, this is more like a starter home rather than a concerning money pit.
Sure. All right. Well, that being the case, yeah, he probably won't call her attention
1
to
minute,
anything
please.
in particular.
Oop.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, he's not calling her attention to anything in particular. He's just like, yep,
if you
place is
really
what it is.
wanted to get into it, you could go and look at the fuse box to see how bad this is. It's, you're not exactly finding a whole roll of pennies or anything dumped into it, which you might expect in certain areas, and you've probably seen an equivalent back home before your stint in the woods. But yeah, like pulling up a few floorboards or looking behind some drywall that you can peek into. It's old, a little creaky, maybe under insulated in a couple of areas, but not like rotting or falling apart. It just needs more investment of time and resource. So, all good.
1890s, I think, Cora will say as she's walking up the stairs. These windows, the 8-pane windows, I don't know if they're original, but they kind of look like they might be.
Artem's just kind of like, so I can tell it's old. I don't know, maybe they could be.
There
Kinda
are
cool.
several windows in this entryway space. but
Well, before we do anything else, let's do what we came here to do so our friends can stop giving us shit about it.
well, sure. Like I said, though, Cora's gonna um, toss down a towel. Be like, just try to get what dust off of you can before we
yeah,
start
of
to
course.
move it, please.
Mm-hmm.
And then she'll disappear again for a second. She's gonna quick switch into some house clothes.
Yeah. Artem will wait, and then when she gets out, he'll go to the bathroom as well, make sure he's as clean as he's going to get, and then
Perfect. I'd offer you something to wear, but I don't think you'd fit.
I think you're a little small for me, yeah.
So I'm not going to have you roll for mattress.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just say that this takes you a few minutes. And
How big is the mattress?
I'd say it's big enough for this narrow set of stairs in a row house to just be more awkward rather than impossible. So it's a lot of just sort of like sort of diagonal wriggling to caterpillar it up the stairs. And I'm assuming Artem is at the bottom doing the bulk of the lifting and shouldering it.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a bit of an awkward, like weird scrunchy twist to weave it through a corridor and doorway to get it to the intended bedroom. But otherwise, it does get there.
Lay it down with a big, loud flap into the bedroom. And it's the only thing in the bedroom, in fact, now. Gosh, thank you for that. I managed to sort of collect it myself, but there was no way I was getting it up those stairs alone.
Well, always happy to help with a mattress.
So, was that all you? Like, were you this strong before you were embraced? Or, is it some supernatural augmentation?
As far as I'm aware, it's the same. Like, you can do the, I don't know how to describe it, like, pump yourself up with the blood. But, like, I wasn't doing that just now. It's all me, baby. Now, getting bit by an alligator and being fine afterwards, that is not all me. That is a gift from my sire, I suppose.
Yeah, my gosh. How is that looking now, anyway?
Well, I'm going to need a new pair of pants, but fine. I was kind of shocked.
Artem, I will say if you wanted to, there were one or two errant pieces of teeth and one or two whole ones that were, well, at your feet at the time that may or may not have gotten traipsed into the underbrush and the mud. But if you wanted to, you could have kept it.
Yeah,
if you wanted that souvenir.
Take make myself an alligator tooth necklace.
Were those more kind of what you got into before you came to Savannah? This type of hunting excursions.
As a kindred, you mean?
Either way, I guess. But yeah, I was as king as a kindred.
I was just definitely. I didn't do a whole lot of that before, but yeah, no, I was I mean, I was embraced in a big forest, and we pretty much just stayed there. So it was basically all that, except we didn't we didn't have don't have a lot of alligators where I live. It was more moose, wolves, that kind of stuff.
Did you hunt all together like that, like as a group?
Never with her, but me and Natalia would sometimes, yeah.
Huh. Do you share the kills often?
Say again?
Do you share the kills often? Sorry, the echo in here is terrible.
Just put more stuff in. Yeah, sometimes like we weren't supposed to kill a lot of stuff, but
No.
because you're supposed to maintain your forest, keep the animals from dying out, doing all that stuff. But
Like a park ranger.
yeah, sort of, I guess. I feel like it was a little more. I don't know. More like a gardener, maybe.
That's very interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, she did have us kill some stuff. I mean, the first night is when I woke up, she had us go kill something. So we were ready for it.
Was it because so you'd be ready for it if you needed to?
Right.
Good then. I was wondering if maybe you were just very hungry when you woke up.
Well, I was.
Hmm.
I'm sure you were too, right?
Yes, yeah, I was. It's I have to admit, having a drink from that gator, that was the first time that I've contributed to killing something like that.
I think when he hears that, Artem's eyes will sort of like go wide, and he'll be like, "Really?"
Yeah, it was already not what I was expecting, because it's a first animal, reptile. I don't know if they'll taste like that, or feel that way, really. But there was a moment, when you could feel it leave.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Laura, that's a big deal. This was your first kill tonight?
Yeah, it was.
I think I might feel bad about that. What?
It should be more significant, you think?
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know.
we did it all together, and everyone was digging in. It just seemed like the right thing to do.
Yeah. Have you've never fed on an animal before?
No.
Okay.
No, I haven't had a need. Back home, it was a lot of, we like to say, Capri Sun or juice boxes,
Like the bags, sure.
Yeah, little baggies, especially at first.
Mm-hmm. So
Till
your
it
sire
was
kind of like
safe
set
for
you
me
up.
to go out on my own. Yeah,
I see.
yeah. I had a lot of adjusting to do. But, eventually I moved on to people.
Sure.
And thankfully, I didn't kill any of them.
Hmm. Yeah, that's something you want to avoid for sure.
So yeah, no animals. I take it they were the staple of your diet, though.
Yeah, yeah, they were. It's you can't do it forever, but you can survive on animals for a long time without needing human blood. I find
So
it's uncomplicated. You know what I mean?
lengths of time are so different for us. Do you know how long you could go? Did you have to find visitors in the woods or leave the woods ever?
Well, we just kind of did. Like we weren't, stuck there or anything. We were allowed to go wherever we wanted. And so, yeah, sometimes we'd go into like a town or even went to a city once. And that was, you know,
How was that?
it was when I realized I'd become a lot less tolerant of noise.
Oh,
Yeah.
just a difference from spending so much time in the outdoors, or do you mean
Yeah.
a change to your actual feeling or perception?
I think it was just the being outside, not, having any, like, obviously it's noisy out there too, but it's a very different kind of noise.
Storyteller for fun, can we have the window AC unit that is notoriously loud in Cora's apartment kick in right now?
Well, considering it is late August, yeah.
Perfect. In that case, Cora will laugh at the timing. uh, if you know about home renovation, do you know anything about AC repair?
I could take a look. I don't know. I don't know specifically about ACs, but maybe it's. I'll take a look.
Cora will lead him over to it.
Sure.
And then we can continue the conversation as we're milling around near this.
You're going to roll intelligence craft.
Okay.
At a 7.
Yep. Ooh, nice. Okay. We did roll a 1, but 2 9s, so 1 success.
There's more than one source of the resonant noise.
Mm-hmm.
You think that there's something internal, you don't know how to really address that. But one issue you could address is tightening the bolts and the sort of installed ledge that's been cantilevered in so that it is more flush and solid.
Mm-hmm.
And you can do that with the few things that Cora
like
would
a
have on
screwdriver.
hand. I mean, she would have tools, more automotive in nature, but some of them would suffice for this.
Yeah.
And yeah, in a few minutes while talking, you can make this less egregious, but you're never going to get it to perfectly silent.
It is what it is. Yeah. Okay. So as this is doing that.
I was hoping for you to botch on this, so it would just sort of fall out of the window.
Gotta buy a better one now. You're welcome.
Mm.
Oh man. So I guess as he's doing that, Hill's he's screwing something. He's like, tell me about your sire. Essen was his name.
Yeah, Essen. He's great. Do, do you want to know anything particular, or
I don't know. Why is he great? He's is it the seneschal of
Sure, yeah, Seneschal of Frankfurt.
Alden?
Yeah, in a way. I never saw him work though. I mean, he was often busy,
Mhm.
but it just. I think he wanted to keep me away from the politics that we're starting to get into now, as
Sure.
best he could. But no, he had a great amount of knowledge. Although he often wanted me to do my best to arrive at answers as I could on my own, and if I was going to really do something stupid, he'd sort of steer me in another direction,
Mhm.
or do what he could to provide a blanket of safety, sort of around the perimeter, so I could never get things would never get too much out of hand.
Mhm.
But really good sense of humor, which I quite liked. Great stories. It felt very natural interacting with him. Almost. It felt like I could have spent a very long time there.
Mhm.
But yeah, as far as being a seneschal, I knew that he had influence for sure. Uh, and I understand that even better now, I think, being here in Savannah. I don't think that I would have had the experience I did in Frankfurt if it weren't for him. I didn't meet a lot of other kindred over there, but it was so I could have a soft entry into things.
Mhm.
So
And then he just decided to put you on hard mode over here.
mm,
You were doing too well.
well, we knew eventually it was going to need to happen for me to start to learn how to do things on my own, a little bit more without that safety net.
Mhm.
I call them enough as much as it is. So,
That's nice.
yeah.
Cora, I want you to roll perception empathy. And we're going to leave it at a 6.
Okay. Well, I had a 1 cancel out my 10, so I have 1 success, sadly.
Artem, does she read anything off of that? That's nice.
Probably easy to say, like, I wish I could do that. Maybe is a little bit of that in there. But with 1 success, that's probably about it.
Your sire was Zoya, yeah?
Yep.
You didn't have a way to reach back to talk to her?
No, she didn't do phones.
Ah,
She's old school.
it's Essen actually. I call Gerhard, and then he puts Essen on. Essen
Oh,
doesn't
I
tend to carry
see.
a cell phone.
Yeah, we don't have a Gerhardt. If we did, he would be a deer, probably, so that wouldn't work.
Yeah. Uh, I'm
Dear
sorry
heart.
that being out here means that you've lost touch with her.
Well, I mean, you heard the story. It's. She has to protect her domain, and she was going to have a hard time protecting us while she was doing that, so.
Are you worried about her at all?
Oh, yeah. Those things are. I mean, what do you know about Garu?
Nothing.
Okay, well. So, picture the Mud Man, but bigger, way stronger, and they can actually like think, like they're not just like animalistic. Though they do seem like they get really mad and make stupid decisions, but like a person does, not like an animal does, you know what I mean?
Sure. No, that is dangerous.
Yeah. You watched me. I mean, you saw what I did to that mud man. I tried the same thing on a wolf. It did not work. They're
Ah,
I don't know.
how
There's
did you get
levels to
out of
this shit.
that?
Oh, she showed up. She saved me.
Was Natalia there too
Yeah.
for this?
Yeah, there was one that was a wolf and one that wasn't. And she took care of the wolf and we took care of the regular guy. Then we left.
Sure. How will you decide when it's been enough time? I imagine you want to go back at some point.
I do. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I get the impression that it's maybe going to be years, not months. I'd like to go back and see her sooner than that, but I doubt I'll be able to stay, you know?
Sure. Sure.
So, want to establish some kind of normalcy. Figure out what the hell happened to Natalia, and just kind of keep doing what we're doing now, I guess.
Do you think you'd bring Natalia here if you could?
Yeah, I would. She'd have to agree, but that would be my preference.
Yeah. Well, Savannah seems like an okay place. I mean, there's danger for sure. But have you been keeping up with all of that anyway? These last several days, I feel like you and I haven't been in quite as close a touch as
Yeah.
we all were right at the start.
Yeah, I haven't really been keeping in touch with anybody. It's I mean, they got me out there fighting Sabat. It's
Sure.
every bit as terrible as you probably imagine.
Yeah. How does... Are you just out running around, independently, or how does that work?
It's a bit
Is you and
more.
Alden?
No. It seems like they've got an operation. They've got some sort of intel coming from that security company, I would guess, and they just like, I don't know. They get groups of us. They load us up in vans, pull up on some place, kick down the door, and either there's something there and we fight, or there's nothing there and we get annoyed and leave.
Right. Hmm. I guess it must have seemed pretty trivial then. And honestly, now that I think about it, for me to express that I was a little bit squeamish about
No, not
killing
at
a
all.
wild animal, and then here it is, you brought in the shape of a man with an axe sticking out of him.
I mean, I wouldn't say no. It's not trivial. Your experience as a I don't even know how to respond to this. It's not trivial.
Well, then if it's not trivial, how are you doing with all of this?
I'm not great, honestly. Right now, just trying to get through it and then figure out how I feel later. It all seems to make sense. I haven't done anything I really regret yet, but you know, the more you do this stuff, the more that line starts to blur and things get really complicated really fast.
Was it this life when you started doing things like that, or was it part of your world before?
I'll tell you this. I never killed anyone before I became kindred.
Cora, would you like to perception empathy check that?
I would love to perception empathy check that. Artem, I'm about to see into your soul.
Oh, good.
Okay, yeah, so that's a total of 7 successes on my 6 dice.
Okay. Okay, so the way he says it is like, you can tell that from his perspective, that's an incredibly low bar. And he was very proud of himself for not for going over the very low bar. So he was in a position where he was doing a lot of other things that people would find, you know, questionable and or reprehensible. And is also just like very obviously a strong, trained, dangerous dude.
Okay, yeah.
So, and you know, I don't know if you know how old he is as a kindred, but like you do know that he's very young, and that didn't like that probably came from before.
Sure.
Based on the Malkavian of it all and the severe critical success, you get a image echo blur of you've been discussing his capacity for violence and the blurriness of what that line is. You see a fist that is unmistakably Artem's. You've seen it in action more than a few times now. But you see when it doesn't strike something, someone, that a conscious choice is made. Someone that is 100% at his mercy. He has their life in his hand, and he refuses to make the fist. And as the image goes, there are others that surround Artem. Shirtless, a hallway. The strange cacophony of, you're not sure if it's the echoes in your nigh empty home or the Slavic brutalist block. But the punches and the sounds they make don't seem to line up correctly, either from the echoes or the strangeness and disconnect of whatever this image is in your head. And there you do see Artem make someone in that flurry of activity. While he is losing, he makes them pay for it. Some losing teeth, as one, in particular, is tasting the ceiling for a brief moment. But as he is knocked down and the dogpiling starts, that image, that window, is broken by the sound of the rattling coming from the AC unit by your window.
Cora's eyes will focus strangely for a minute, probably down at Artem's hands as he's working, and then up to his face again. She'll say, it's a hard thing to find yourself in a place where you're walking right up to that line so many times. I'm proud of you for trying not to.
I think we'll say Artem has kind of missed the like revelation. He's like really focusing on, trying to just
That
really
makes
screw
sense.
something in, right? So he just kind of like laughs and he's like, well, now we're both there all the time. So
Yeah, we are. Each in our own way, maybe. But we are.
what do you have like a plan or like an objective? What are you trying to do while you're here?
Yeah. There's something, seems like, everyone around here always wants to know.
Yeah, it's really annoying.
I'm when I first got here, I wasn't certain, other than to just experience a new place, learn more about what it is to be kindred, you know?
Mhm.
For a while, having been around to Essen and the few others that I knew, it felt like maybe I wanted to get involved with the court in some way, or do something to, I don't know, further the project
Sure.
of whatever it is, that all of us collectively.
Serve your community.
Sure. I think that's maybe still there a little bit.
Mhm.
With what's happened to our group recently, Kate, and then almost losing Poppy, Tappy leaving.
Upset.
Yeah. I think I want to do the best I can to keep all of us together.
Mhm.
And it's a silly, sentimental thing. We haven't known each other very long, but then again, I never really had a lot of friends, and this is quite nice. So,
Known you
and-
longer than I've known anyone else here.
sure. And anymore, what do we have in common with anyone? You know, we have the shared experience of all arriving here at the same time.
Mhm.
We have so much that's going to be different from the humans out there, and we're so much younger than most of the other people here in the city. That are
Yeah.
like us. So I
At
think
least
that's
we
my
have-
goal for now, is
Mhm.
to have us hang on to one another.
At least we have unisexy.
Yeah, we do. I really wish that one of the things that I would have brought was like a little portable speaker or something. But anymore, I just have to play it on my phone.
It's all
That's
right.
we were talking about feeding earlier. I had someone I was feeding on regularly, also sort of a girlfriend. I met her at a unisexy. Well, it wasn't a concert just for him, but he was there.
Mhm.
It was very cool.
Yeah.
Oh, what about you? Since you're here for a few years, it sounds like, at least. What do you want out of this?
Just a place to keep my head down while things get resolved at home, I guess. I think I share your desire to keep some people together. I know. I mean, I like Chris. I think she's got a complicated relationship with all this, but it seems like she's figuring it out a little bit, and I think having you all around has helped.
I like Chris a lot too, actually. I like that she's one of us.
Poppy's great. You're great. Is there anyone I'm forgetting?
Bob, you're forgetting Bob.
Oh, right, Bob. Yeah, I miss Bob. But no, Ellie's been a bit of a surprise.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, things started off a little tense,
Yeah.
but I've been enjoying Ellie as well.
Yeah, they seem like there's. I'm probably not the guy to do it, but they seem like they've got a lot of similar, not the same as Chris, but similar in that like their relationship with this whole thing is very complicated. So
Yeah. I mean, isn't that the case for any of us, though?
I feel like mine's not really. It only became complicated when I came here.
Sure. So, forgive me if you've told me before, but how did that end up working for you anyway? You just walked into the woods and there was Zoya was a hiker or something, and she's
Oh,
like,
man.
"Hey, do you want to stick around for eternity?"
No, it wasn't like that.
You should tell me about it. I'll make some coffee and you can tell me the
Sure.
story.
Yeah. Tell you what, you tell me mine, or I'll tell you mine if you tell me yours. I'll go first, but you know.
Do we have to trade that way?
We don't, but I don't know. This is well, I guess you'll see when I tell you.
All right.
Hey, go ahead.
Yeah, Corey's gonna go ahead and get the little fancy coffee machine started.
Yeah, and he'll kind of wait for like a bit of a quiet moment. He's not quite been introduced to the oral tradition of the gangrel, but you know, he still tries to like set the right mood a little bit.
Yeah, I suppose then after they're ready, she'll go ahead and come back and hand you one and then just kind of sit cross-legged there in the space.
Mm-hmm. So I was supposed to do a job, and I didn't do it. And the consequences of that were lethal. They knocked me out, put me in the back of a truck, and they were about to shoot me.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then they disappeared.
Ah, okay. Zoya then?
Yeah. And I don't know if she seen me before, or maybe she'd been watching me all my life, or if she just saw that particular moment and decided to intervene. But she basically said, you know, you can be like me. I had to prove to her that I could, you know, I was worthy of that, I guess. She had me go survival mode for, I don't even know, I lost track of time, honestly. It was in that wood with no, you know, no watch, no phone, no anything. And eventually, you know, it was winter was about to come and my life was about to get a lot harder. And she said, yeah, I think you're ready. And I took the deal, and here we are.
Wow. Oh, that's really something. I think the way you talked about your philosophy, her philosophy, that you treated the woods like a garden that you had to tend.
Yeah.
You can tell that she had, well, and then sending you and Natalia away too. There's a respect for life there that I think is really beautiful.
Yeah, it's weird because, like, I don't know, I've seen some things that the prince has done, and obviously it's a very different setting, right? Like, he's ruling over a city. He has a lot of human beings that he's managing. It's very different in a lot of ways, but I do see a lot of her philosophy of, like, tending to a garden and only, taking what you need. It seems like there's maybe not an evolution, but a transference of a leadership style there, I guess.
Yeah.
I wonder how Essen did it.
Huh. Well, I know that he was unafraid to make difficult choices when he had to. But like you said, there's a lot on the line in urban places.
Yeah.
I mean, now of course we've got our propaganda people, I guess,
Right.
to help sort of patch things up when we mess up. But I mean, you get things too wrong, and it's not just the end of one of us. It looks pretty bad for all of us, right? So,
Yeah.
one day, maybe, if I get the opportunity to go back to Frankfurt, I will get to see how he does things.
Yeah. Do you not have any plans to go back?
I would like to visit, but not for now, at least.
Okay.
It's
really
always with me, though.
You really just fled the nest then.
Yeah, I suppose so. Cora is. I don't know if Artem's into persympathy at all, but there is a bit of withholding that Cora is doing.
I'm rolling the dice. Oh yeah, that's actually a botch.
Oh, I'm so happy. So what is he trying to glean as he's scrutinizing her?
So
Sorry, I'm just from Artem. What is he
okay, yeah.
trying to go for? What is he attempting to learn?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess, like, why not? To him, it's like, especially knowing how young she is, it's like he would have stuck around Zoya for however long she would have let him, and it seems like she's got a pretty good relationship with Essen, so he's just like, why let go of a good thing like that, you know?
Because it's a botch.
Yeah.
You think that there is an underlying lie that maybe that relationship isn't all bread and roses? That maybe there is something unpleasant involved? That it is, she has mentioned being on the phone, but there is that potential for, you've been cast out of the garden, but we require you to stay on the leash.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least that is a possibility.
Oh no.
Man, you and Poppy with the evil sire dynamic.
That's that's not Artem saying that, right?
No,
Okay.
that's Martel. Artem is very respectful. He's like, oh, I see what's going on. Okay, we don't have to talk about him anymore.
It's so funny what this botch has done. Oh my gosh. But it also kind of plays into the, yeah, well, I have seen Cora be kind of a fuck up, so maybe.
Said the wrong thing to one too many guards at Frankfurt Elysium.
We here in Germany require a certain amount of perfection that you are failing to attain. Here is your ticket, and goodbye.
So no, nothing, no plans there for me anyway.
Sure. Well, it's all right. Be wherever you want to be, Cora.
Yeah, for sure. Cora also definitely did smile fairly broadly when Artem mentioned that he felt like he lost track of time when he was out in the woods.
I'd say, given the botch, he doesn't pick up on that little connection.
Yep.
She's making fun of me.
I bet this is why she was kicked out of Germany.
Cora pretends to be nice, but she's a jerk.
Just like every other vampire. There's kindred and there's vampires. Which one are you?
Yeah. I do hope, though, that maybe this little place here can become something of a home for all of us, The mattress is not the first furniture item that I was expecting to bring in. I know that it maybe sends a somewhat awkward signal, but, I mean, it was too good to pass up.
How much did you get it for?
I got it for free.
Oh, that's great. Okay. I was going to say, it almost doesn't matter what you say, because I don't know American money that well, but free is always good.
Yeah, other than having the haven and, the protection of the Malkavians around here, and tutelage and all of that, I do also get a little bit of pocket money, so...
Sure.
But to furnish an entire apartment, well, I'm going to have to do a lot of thrifting.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tack on to this. You had made coffee somewhere in this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You probably made it with the intent of holding a nice warm cup and basking in the rich aromas of your Turkish coffee blend that has been sent to you from overseas.
Yeah.
Artem, are you content to hold the cup, or have you been imbibing this entire time?
I think the first time he did that in front of Alden, he was warned against that, so I think he'll keep that to himself for now.
Fair enough.
But at least I've got nice coffee and another little gift from back home.
He's trying to figure out how this gift is actually a passive aggressive neg.
So, what's the first thing you would do to this place if I was to ask you to try to fix it up a little bit more? So we got the little kitchen over there, the sort of living space here, the bedroom. There's that closet that's actually where I sleep right now. but once the bedroom's a bit more stable and less chance of accidental burns, maybe I'll move in there instead.
Yeah. Honestly, I could do that first if you wanted. Make
How
sure
could
your
you?
sleeping spaces. Yeah. That's a pretty important thing for us. I learned that one pretty quick.
Did you have these? They're really popular in Germany. Maybe if you've seen them. And Cora's gonna get on her phone real quick and show off like the metal shutters that are like slatted, that then they've got like two modes and they're powered, and so they like slide down, and they can either be set so that there's like little spots of light that shine through them, or they can be like latched in to like fully enclosed. They're like an ultra blind, that sits on the inside where blinds would normally go, um, but they're like super hardcore, and they are really common in Germany. Um, but she does have some really nice curtains, both like blackout curtains and like prettier, just kind of sheer for adding some beauty to the space too. But still, there's that concern with Cora, that she's got herself off into the like little. It's like a walk-in closet or maybe a very small office.
Yeah.
And this building is so old that it has like the little horizontal, like the rectangular pass-through windows, like on the tops of the entries to each of the spaces, that can be like opened like this way, so that air can get through. But yeah, she's been in there. So yeah, these things.
Yeah, Artem will look at it and be like kind of like no, not even close. This looks great though.
I have no idea what it would be like to import something like this though. So if you've got a more
my solution's a
accessible
little
idea, that would be
cheaper.
better.
But I mean, these do look really good. So like, if you can import them, yeah, I can help you put them in.
Oh, maybe as a birthday present or something.
Yeah, sure.
But no, whatever you have in mind, I'll take it. I'd love to be able to use more of my space confidently.
Yeah, I'll guess we can take a look at it now. Yeah. See what you've got
As
coming
you shift more into potential renovation priorities,
in.
is there anything you want to cover before we fade out on this particular scene?
I think we had at least one other fairly significant potential talking point that we haven't
Yes.
worked our way somewhere around.
I'll give you that, and then we're going to head over to break.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
So I guess as Artem is inspecting the space, seeing how he thinks light is probably going to be shining on this mattress that he's just brought in.
Well, one or two, now I think about it.
Right. As probably just do the one for now. He will he's giving Cora some advice of like, this is what you want to avoid. This area is probably okay. We can, put something up here.
Sure.
That'll make this a lot more livable for you. And then he will have that conversation. There's a bit of a lull, and he'll say, how's your relationship with Lewis?
With Lewis, I like him. He's actually been here. He helped me get set up with the place.
I see.
Yeah. Only one other than, our little group.
Yeah.
I do worry about him, though.
I do too. Has he ever, like, talked to you about being able to see things, like maybe things in the future, maybe things in the past?
Well,
Are all of you like that?
Has he talked to you about something like that?
Yeah, he has.
Then yes. We've talked about that a little bit. Nothing specific, though. He doesn't like to share specifics.
Sure.
I think it makes him uneasy. And I don't want to put him through that. So mostly when we're together, we just sort of focus on the now. Did he say something?
Yeah. He told me something specific.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, if he
Well.
bothered to go to that point, it must have been important.
Yeah. I don't really know what I'm asking you to do. He told me something about danger around me specifically, but it was a very weird conversation, and I don't know if he meant me specifically or like all of us. Or...
Sure.
He seems to think that, I don't know, he said maybe I was going to kill Chris or Chris was going to kill me, like that.
He said those words?
Yes. Basically.
Well,
trying to figure out how freaked out to be about that.
Sure. Yeah, no, that makes sense. It's, certainly one of those situations, isn't it now, where, we have to wonder if doing something about it will make it happen.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this. No, it's not that way for all of us. But in my own experience, there is too much that I've been able to notice that people respond to in a way that makes sense. So I don't think that we're making it up. So if he said that to you, I don't know if it can be changed, but it's not an inevitability either. I have enough experience to know that too confidently. And Cora kind of does straighten herself out, and in her head, she's thinking about three things. She's got what Artemis just told her, her own experiences seeing the past of people around her, Olivia, Artem just now, Poppy, and how when she has spoken up about it, it tends to be things that they seem to understand. So, and then she thinks about someone else that is very important to her as a kindred, and how what she learned about that dynamic, and how things don't necessarily always have to unfold the way that it initially appears. And so I would say we take it at face value, but we need to approach it in a way that is sort of delicate, right? Like, how can I put this? When you're driving on a slick road and you feel yourself starting to lose control, if you overcorrect, you're going to find yourself in an even worse spot. But you can't also do nothing. So you just use that awareness and make the minor corrections that you need to, and sort of work with it to get yourself to safety. If that makes sense. And I know that doesn't give you any exact what do we do now, but hopefully that helps.
I think the best thing I heard was it's not inevitable.
Yes, that's right.
I was going to say I never believed in fate, and then I became a vampire, and now I don't know really what to think.
That's the thing, isn't it? Cora just look off for a second there. There's certainly some very competing bits of evidence in her head right now for what she just said. But she knows it's making Artem feel better, and telling him, yeah, you can't avoid it. You or Chris are gonna end up killing each other isn't gonna be helpful. So yeah. I'm sorry. That's a really hard thing to have had to hear. Cora's going to try to give Artem a hug.
I think he'll take the hug.
All right.
And I think on the wordless hug, as they're both now at a loss for words to really cover the topic any further, I'd say it's a good time for us to fade out and go on a little break. We'll be checking in with Ellie and Chris in a moment. But until then, see you in a few. Welcome back, everyone, to the second half of Savannah by Night here on the Midnight Dispatch. If you are lost on previous shenanigans that our budding coterie has gotten up to, I do encourage you to go and check out the YouTube and come hang out on the Discord, because there are some aftermath reactions to things that are just delightful and terrible, which just makes it more delightful for me. But so that we can add to our backlog of the terrible, let's check back in on Ellie. As well, for one thing, Ellie has been in town for a few months longer than the rest of the coterie, except for Chris, who's been here for quite a few years, but she's only more recently kindred in comparison. But you got a smattering of ideas from Lila, your fellow Nosferatu, of where you could traipse about. Which one did you pick, Ellie, as you are leading this caravan of two through town?
I feel like Allie looked at the thing, looked at Chris, and went, "Cemetery."
Ooh, yeah.
I thought that was boo.
Boo earns.
Okay, cemetery it is.
Which one? Bonaventure, Colonial.
Looks like colonial.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's not too far. What?
Are you expecting any ghosts?
That's when she leans in like, if we're real, what the fuck else is?
That is fair, and also that does remind me I have to do a follow-up on some of the other stuff.
Anyway,
cemetery.
Now, as we wibbly wobbly this, and your van and her borrowed car get underway, you have to do the quick pull over at the gate house, or the guard house ahead of the gate, collect your things, and head back out. Julius is aware, but he doesn't detain you any further.
Wait, hang on. Can we have this magical moment? Can we talk about this magical moment?
The magical moment is that he might
doesn't-
hassle you more on the way in than he does on the way out. Think about that for a moment.
Thought we had something. It's fine.
And then you remembered this was a vampire, Gabe.
Hate to see you leave. Love watching you go.
This is Julius's game. We're all just living in it.
59 sessions in, you're just gluing into that.
Well, you know, it's the first session I got exploded, so you know.
Yeah, the hard reset. Gotcha. As you weave back into town, the idea of going over to the cemetery makes even more sense when you remember where Cora's place is, so you're not too far away. Rather, Chris isn't too far away to swing by and pick him up. You don't have to go back over in that direction. You know of a few choice garages that once locked, you can head back down into the Warrens in your roundabout fashion. You're good. Everyone
know I
else
am.
has more of a trek to make. But as you find some street parking, you are, of course, aware that while there are some cameras, very few of them are government. They're more like the occasional red light camera. If you want to go into the more private cameras, you would have to do a fair amount of hacking. But it's dark, lights are dim, you have a hoodie. This is a cemetery at night. What lights and cameras are really going to be shining on you? However, the cemetery is closed at this time of night. But it's a very short wrought iron fence. On one side of it is a slightly stylistically dilapidated building that you would have known from looking at the map as you zoomed in is used by SCAD, as are so many of the structures that dart the county. But at the northern end of the block, just at the eastern corner of where the cemetery is, the Savannah Police Department is, well, thankfully blocked by a great deal of foliage. And it's quite dark.
Player question.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the same cemetery that Cora went into?
It is not.
Oh, okay, good.
But Ellie wouldn't know that.
No. No, this was Moguls the player freaking out. Don't worry. Nothing's gonna happen with what Ellie was doing. Does the fence look climbable?
Oh, like I said, it's a very short fence. Like you could basically just Chris and Ellie are around the same height, more or less, about 5'5", 5'6". So it's basically just a just above like sternum level, and you can just sort of like grab it and hop.
I do realize I've probably always imagined Chris is slightly taller than Ellie, but I think that's because Ellie hunches over.
Yeah, Ellie probably has that like programmer spine.
Yeah, exactly.
That was before the Nosferatu change. That was just that was all Ellie.
That's one of those ones.
That like, shrimp spine.
I wish I had better posture before I was turned. So I think Ellie approaches it and goes, well, I could use my elite hacking skills in order to get us access to here.
But she just grabs the like top of the fence and just hops it.
You know, some people have fun. And I go hop over it.
Now, the pathway is dark, dim. There are some distant city light that casts into it, but it is quite dull and muted. There are no direct lights pointing into the cemetery at the moment, and none within it. As it seems to be intended to be off limits at night. But you are creatures of darkness. You go where you want to go, presuming you don't get caught. However, you can't see in the dark. Not without certain skills. But you can see enough that you know where you're going. You're just going to have a hard time making out very specific details. You're not going to be able to read all the headstones without additional light. And you know, based on some of the things you've gotten into over the years, that walking around in a dark space, shining a flashlight or the light off of your phone will draw attention. And you can reasonably surmise, as long as you're not doing that, you are, by all accounts and purposes, invisible. More importantly, as a Nosferatu, publicly invisible.
So, you come here often?
You were single before all this, weren't you?
Oh, eternally. So I had a chat with our mutual friend Harlan.
As her hands are like haphazardly into the pockets of her bolero jacket, she does. It doesn't quite miss a step as much as it slows for a moment before resuming its previous gait. How did that go?
I'm not actually sure how much she told him about what actually happened. He clearly knows something embarrassing to her occurred and was, as far as I'm aware, didn't implicate me in on it, but I don't even know if that extends to you all. Very complicated feelings about the one who sired him.
A lot of that goes around.
Yeah?
As they're walking, she doesn't seem to take the bait initially. You do realize he's probably playing stupid, right?
I'm not taking everything at his word. I'm just telling you what I have been told so far.
Did you ask anybody in the suburbs what they thought of the situation?
Do I get the implication of what the suburbs means?
She did stress it pretty heavily.
No, this is Smogul's asking.
Yeah,
'cause I'm an
she's
idiot.
referring downstairs, the basement, the
Oh.
suburbs.
Yeah. Their opinions on what's happening?
This, that, and everything else.
Well, my boss apparently makes it a point not to get involved in inter-party conflicts. That being said, I did find out what she was after. But let's just say I found out what it was. I know she can't get to it now. And I had to find out that information by signing an NDA.
Okay. All right. I won't nail you to the fucking wall for that then, but is it something that can come back and fuck us over?
It was meant to do emotional damage.
Mm-hmm.
But not emotional damage that any of us are connected with.
Okay.
She meant to do emotional damage to the person who runs the domain. We got in the
Yeah.
way of it, and that's where we're at.
Yeah, that I kind of figured. It was just the finer details. Think what we're all still a little foggy on, but apparently
Yeah.
you aren't.
Well, what I can confirm at this point is that the thing she is most pissed off about is that we probably very publicly embarrassed her. And if I know anything,
Whoa. No. She embarrassed herself.
I'm talking in her perspective.
Yeah,
In
but
her
I'm talking in
perspective.
mine. That's more important.
Right. Well, I don't think she's taking your perspective into account if she tries to pay you back.
I liked you more when you were an asshole.
Oh, I'm still an asshole. You're just not my target right now.
Okay, the fact that I'm missing the spy versus spy thing, I don't know what that says about. Anyway, moving on.
The point is that I'll be doing some need to figure out who her allies are, and well, if it were me, I would use the advantage of the chaos of there being other enemies to cause problems.
Yeah.
If I were ever that petty.
Oh, yeah. Imagine. I'm trying to think who she would. I didn't really go to Elysium a lot until recently.
Even after?
No, I mean, even when I would get dragged to Elysium before, I didn't really engage with a lot of shit. I wasn't really paying attention to who did what with whom or why. If I could just hang out in a corner or sit on the dock for 3 hours before going back home, that's what I would do.
Well, that sounds like a prime Harlan target if ever I heard one. Find someone trying to keep away from themselves and somehow add them to your social circle.
Look, I'm gonna admit to some shit and you're gonna shut up about it. Until I was hanging out with Harlan and Lewis, it was a whole lot of suck here for me. Most people here are older or they're assholes or both.
Did you go to them or did they go to you?
He approached me first. What's that? Roses being extroverts? Who would have thought? Though you look like you're having one right now.
The you you, you've kind of been brought over because of Alden's duties.
What do you mean?
Well, it sounds like when you say you were dragged over, sounds like you were dragged over because he needed to go there, so you had to go wherever he did.
Pretty much.
Hmm. As someone who has let's say talked to him one time, I have an idea on his general temperament.
Oh, do go on.
How has he been for you?
I feel like you got to make that more specific.
Well, do you feel like you're protected?
She's going to sort of squint, but she doesn't like break the stride. I can't tell if that's the question or the question behind the question you really want to ask me.
It's an either or, probably a little bit of both if I'm right.
Okay, ask the other one then.
Or do you feel like you're in a cage?
Less than before.
How much of a choice were you given?
That's when she does break eye contact. But you do notice the stride slow a little bit. Most don't get a choice.
Yeah. My choice wasn't exactly option A, be this, or option B, live a normal life. Or live it all.
How were you brought over?
Ripped to shreds by a Toreador. Guts ripped out. He punched her in the face, smashed her against a wall, and gave me a choice of bleed out in an alley or join him. Let me tell you, seeing one of our faces for the first time as not one of them sure does throw you for a loop.
Yeah, don't take this the wrong way. The first time I saw one of you guys, I don't think I slept that week.
Yeah. Now imagine waking up as it.
And she
Although,
does sort of like turn and look at you. I mean, are you wearing a false face right now? I would assume to an
I think
extent.
to an extent. I think at the very least the like hands are in the pockets, but the face is like maybe a little heavily shaded, but probably the face of like a teen who was like, "Oh, I'm being so edgy,
Mm,
making a midnight walk in the cemetery."
yeah. And I imagine a hoodie up and everything.
Oh, hoodie's definitely up, yeah.
Yeah. Would you make the same choice? Not that it was much of one.
Probably. Thinks about it. I think it's sometimes a little bit about the choices leading up to it. And after.
Any in particular?
Having to work with the one who was responsible for ripping my guts out.
Okay, that's a little fucked up.
Mm-hmm. Was yours a similar choice to mine?
Hobson wasn't in the conversation.
Hmm.
I remember the hurricane coming in. And then that was this.
Has he ever said anything to you about that?
And she does sort of rub at a bit of ruddiness around her right eye with the heel of her palm. Before I answer that, I got a real big question for you. Are you asking for you or for someone else?
For myself.
Out of character. Do you want to make that a rule?
Out of character.
Do you want to roll against
I do.
yourself?
I think if I'm rolling against anything, it's against myself. But
Okay.
I don't think I'm intentionally lying to this at this point.
So it can't really roll against yourself as much as having her try to read the myriad of intents.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that that delay in response was player or character?
Oh, that's a good question.
Because that does change things.
I would say the I would say that the pause for the character was shorter than mine was.
But still a pause.
It was still a pause, but not nearly as long as mine was, because I was thinking about other elements as a player.
Fair.
Because I think what was happening was how much of this do I even want Amon to ever know?
So it is an odd mixture of both.
It's an odd mixture of both. Ellie does want to know for themselves, and it's like if you talked to Ellie 2 weeks ago, 100% for someone else.
But since then, Ellie's art has grown 2 sizes.
Yeah,
1.5.
size and a half. Yeah.
Okay.
So let's not be weird.
She didn't roll great. She didn't roll bad.
Oh, okay. I don't roll anything.
No. She has stopped walking, and she is side-eyeing you. And while there is that air of suspicion, there isn't hostility behind it, and you have known her to be quick to be hostile. You said a couple things, not all at once. My real takeaway, though, is and there is that slight sort of hesitant quiver in the lip as she seems to be trying to steady herself. I know I'm not who he was looking for. But, and she lights at the other eye now. And she's realizing that she doesn't really, she can't easily get rid of the small stain that has built up on the heels of her palms, and she just awkwardly sort of tries to lick it off. But I always kind of got the impression him coming home empty-handed would have been worse. Out of character. You have heard the rumor that Alden did not look that way
Yes.
until the hurricane.
Yes.
maybe one or two features here and there, sometimes temporary, but he looked like a man. Out of character, the only person that has any idea in the coterie of what he looked like first would have happened back in session 1 when Cora saw a man sitting at the big chair in the middle of Elysium. She blinked, and the bestial man was sitting there instead.
Well, Ellie, with while taking that information in,
Mm-hmm.
is kind of staring at just like a random gravestone
Mm-hmm.
at the time, and kind of goes, hmm.
What I'll say in the
What
limited
do you
amount of
like to do?
light
Oh,
that you can make out with this is these headstones are very old. You know that assuming Ellie did any kind of research before either coming to town or since being in town, that Savannah is the 13th colony. That's how far back some of these headstones go. But they don't quite go back to the exact founding, as there is one major collective tombstone at the heart of the place.
besides going out running into the wilderness, what else do you like doing?
She puts her hands back in her pockets, but she is sort of fumbling around looking for either Kleenex or makeup wipe or something. And while she does eventually find one, sort of brushing away at it. I mean, you were there for movie night.
Valid.
I was supposed to start school that fall for writing.
Here? I was supposed to help someone find their brother.
I guess you didn't find them in the end? Or did you find them the other way?
I found I found evidence of where he might have gone after. I'll give you 2 guesses on as to who was the person responsible for making him disappear.
Whatever happened to her?
Don't know. But, last time I saw her was also the last time I was at St. Louis.
What about your sire?
Not around anymore. Get to be an orphan twice over now.
Yeah. I know what that part's like.
Well, it sounds like we got ghosts in different ways. Shall we head back?
We have to take a bet first.
Oh, God.
Think they're fucking?
Oh. I never really saw that.
Yeah, me neither, but I kind of get the impression he likes blondes. And we've never let them alone for that long before. Like, she's
I had
awkward
the
as fuck and
impression-
everything, but who knows? Maybe that's a thing for him.
I had the impression that he was more scared of blondes, but maybe that's just because of the particular person.
Yeah. She's weird, right?
You gotta be more specific than that.
Fair. Okay, right. Like, okay, so then what's your read of her?
No, I mean who you're talking about. They're all weird.
Okay, now I'm lost. Who are we all talking about?
Are you talking about Cora, Poppy?
I was talking about his, how do I put this? The Slavic stalker?
Oh, her. Yeah, no, she is weird.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Those other two, weird. Weird. But are
Yeah.
kind of weird, you know?
I guess. She's a more predator for which is a little strange for that.
Yeah,
But at least she doesn't stare into your soul. At
What?
least I don't think so. Nothing.
No. We're having all the
Listen.
conversations now. Who did
No,
what to what?
listen. Listen. Have you ever encountered Bianca?
I think you did. Is that what's going on here?
Yeah, she's terrifying. You want to talk about weird? Also, you want to talk about weird? There's
She's like
many of
5'2"
my
and some
friends-
hope. You're scared of her?
You have never had her stare at you, have you?
Wait,
Also, her hair
wait.
stands all the way wrong.
Yeah, but that's kind of cool though. Do you know what I would do with that? And she sort of like rustles like all her like wild curls.
I don't know, just kind of have it stay in one place, maybe.
Or do whatever the fuck I want with it. Have you
Oh,
tried to
good.
tame this shit? No, I have.
That's why I just keep it short. Solves all my problems.
Okay, high and tight. Wait a minute. Okay, you have to answer this.
Ugh. What is with all of the
Are you scared of Alice?
Am I scared of Alice? I could see how others would at this point be scared of her, and
I want you to roll deception.
No. Because no. Here's why I strain against that.
Mm-hmm.
Because at this point, the player Smoggles is definitely still scared of Alice. That's like 100% true. That will never change. But I think the times that Ellie has spent with Alice has still, like, Alice can still jump scare her, jump scare them.
Mm-hmm.
But still is like, oh, you can jump scare me, but it's like, oh, hey, Casper the ghost. It's like it's like that type of thing.
Oh, I see. Got it. Sam scared little girl. Got it.
That wasn't the thing. That's not the thing to clip. Please don't. Please don't.
Fine. Okay. I got one more for you. No one seems to have an answer to this every time I've asked. What the fuck is up with Lump? Hey, don't tell me that Lump sat alone in a boggy marsh bullshit. We've all heard that joke, okay? Like,
that sounds like a Fitz thing if ever I heard one.
Yeah.
We each have our own. We each have our own quirks, shall we say?
Yeah, no, I got that. Whatever. Okay, remember, writer. Okay, everyone has a story, a narrative. All I get are question marks every time I look at Lump.
Yeah. Well, he communicates two ways: text and chess.
Mm-hmm. Anything there?
Well, he's a good listener. And do you think you and I are introverts? Got it tuned up to 11.
Great.
Also, just so you know, kind of offended that you just assumed that I would know his story. Not really.
You probably spend more time with Lump than I do.
That's true. Actually, he spends a lot more time in Elysium than you would think.
Yeah, no, I got that part. That's again part of the whole what the fuck of it all. Like, I don't. They almost seem like a fixture there.
I think some of that's intentional.
Yeah.
Especially on Lump's part. I don't think it's a he's been told he has to go there. Although I am aware that he probably doesn't have as much ability to hide as a lot of us do.
Other than the talking part, is there something else?
You see this gorgeous mug? Pointing at my obfuscated face.
Uh-huh. Bratty teenager, right, got it. Like knows like. Go on.
He technically can.
Technically.
I personally am not sure how many people it will fool.
That bad, huh?
The less in public he is, the better for his sake, and can't believe I'm saying this, but the entire masquerade.
I mean, unless you got that in a big baggy coat, most of you lot are all walking, talking masquerade breeches. So yeah, I get it.
I think we could be fashion trendsetters. Can you imagine the makeup artists that would just love to use our faces as models?
Yeah, once again, I'm back to Alice wondering, like, someone tries to reach in, look at that face, and then they don't have a hand anymore.
Oh no, she's not gonna bite off the hand. She's gonna throw you into the river first. Or in the direction of the river, which probably means you're just gonna hit a wall.
Oh, that's better.
You should go scrap hunting with us sometimes. We go and get scrap. What's confusing about that?
Yeah, I'm curious, but at the same time, what the fuck?
How do you think I cobbled the tracker together? Speaking of which, and Ellie takes out an empty for the game master empty syringe.
Hmm.
I was still looking for a volunteer to be my test subject for the next one.
As a storyteller, my immediate impulse was for her to just punch you in the face as hard as she could. And you actually do get that little bit of a flinch of like that. And that's when she's like grabs the syringe while you're holding like either end of it. Like while you're holding it, like the finger
like
trap,
this,
she's
yeah.
holding it and she's just, I think we should find out on you if it's a suppository.
Oh, that doesn't work because I have the data and I would just know where I was because I'm always here.
Always good to have a control. And that's when she sort of like uses it to smush you in the face with your own gear and your own hands.
All right. Shall we pick up
Yeah.
your Slavic friend?
Think they've had enough time to shower?
I just don't even. This is the same of when I found out like Poppy's whole thing with her sire, and I was like, really? That's what? Is that like a Toreador thing or something? Why would you?
I'm gonna hit you again.
Oh, you can't hit me if you can't see me. Does the obfuscate work? I go into the shadows.
No. You were worried about Bianca staring straight through you. And you forget, or maybe you just don't realize, Gangra might be able to smell you.
I think
Like they'll
there
give you the
is
full Morgan Freeman in a second.
I think there is a little bit of the like you can't see me and just like trying to like woo
Calm down,
away.
John Cena. No, okay. Would you with yours?
No, probably not.
Oh, you had to think about it.
Well, no, I wouldn't now because he's, well, I think a pile of ashes at this point. That's just weird.
Out of curiosity,
Oh no.
are you giving the impression of dark humor as your coping mechanism, or are you trying to like steer away from how awkward this is for Ellie?
I think it's a dark humor as a coping
Okay.
mechanism.
I mean, I've heard of some lube, but that's weird even for me. Oh,
Are
and
we
I
at
got them to shut up. Oh, I want to
Are we at the
and she
car at
walks.
this point?
I think at this point you're hopping over the fence.
Yeah.
And she's doing a little like victory strut on that one to the car.
I would say I liked it better when you were an asshole.
Get your own team of riders. Now, as we begin to close out, people say their goodbyes and begin heading in their various directions. We're going to come back to Cora. As you've had the fairly lengthy conversation with two of your coterie members tonight and a group feed that resulted in your first kill, even if it was of only an animal.
Yeah.
And you also have the further haunting realization that as you change, grow, get better at what you do and what you are, physically you are still static. The other half of you, the one that you grew up with, will age. All those fine lines will become finer, deeper, grayer, while you remain as you are. And now at least one person knows about her.
Mm-hmm. Although, Cora, I don't know if she's picked up on the fact that Poppy knows for certain.
It's at least a fear in the back of your head now.
It is, yeah.
How are we doing?
Cora's, had some big conversations tonight. I think those more than anything are what are carrying through, and this like this notion that she intimated to Artem about wanting her current goal is just to kind of keep her new friends together. There's almost like this little fear in her head now of like as I dive deeper into all of this, how how much of my sister am I gonna lose? You know? How much of that relationship is gonna bleed away? Um, and I mean, ultimately, the answer is all of it if I do well enough at this, if I live long enough. Um, so that's tough.
If you were to be fully, completely logical and upfront with yourself about the reality of it, it already has.
Yeah. No, it unless someone finds out and then it becomes worse. It becomes a problem. So she's got that photo out from under the frame again out the back, and she's gonna end up placing it back in there now with this feeling of just how dangerous it is to allow herself the indulgence of keeping something like that around. Um, and she's just so incredibly grateful to have the friends that she has now. Listening to the not quite as loud AC unit now in this space.
Is it okay if I fade out from there?
Sure.
Allie, you've had a couple of deep conversations tonight of your own. Some things you've admitted to, some things you've alluded to. And in some ways, to different people, you gave more in-depth, honest, though not the full story. But enough. You also have the conflict of an overriding directive. And it has been some time since you've checked in. How's Ellie dealing with all this?
This is probably gonna cause a problem later, but the more important thing is figuring out how to get people how to protect the others at this point.
Mm.
In a way, Ellie has made a decision of Amon can wait. It's probably going to be a problem later on. But considering the amount of times they've answered for others, and this is kind of the first time where it feels like they're making a decision for themselves, it feels like the right path to go.
Well, and you did find out that you can corral them into a group act. Maybe it wasn't, the defense of yourself or your domain like it was with Poppy the other night. but it was still, let's go and do a thing in furtherance of a plan that we already have. And they answered, and they didn't phone it in. In fact, Poppy was self-conscious about the fact that she wasn't sure how she would be able to participate, to contribute.
Mm.
And yet she did. You have, to an extent, people who maybe sure of themselves in some way, less sure of themselves in others, but still there. And your earliest interactions with Chris, very different from how they are now. And the interaction with Alden, you were used to your sire effectively being a dotted outline whenever something uncomfortable happened. At least uncomfortable for you. And yet, Chris stayed standing there. Maybe she didn't encourage what you were doing, but she didn't walk away from it either. You also know that they at least claimed that they have not been sharing your involvement in the incident with Lore.
Mm-hmm.
That isn't to say that others can't suss out the likelihood at some point. But for now, it seems at least, they are keeping your participation secret. Will you now hold theirs?
Mm-hmm.
Why and for how long is something to be figured out as we go. Is there anything else you'd like to add on to that?
That's all.
Thank you, Sam. Artem, you've had two very different interactions tonight. I'm not going to push you to have a third on the way home, but is there anything that you want to muse about? Well, for once, she's the one that's driving, unless you fight to get the keys back.
He doesn't give a shit. As long as it seems like she can actually drive. If she can't, maybe that's a different question.
She seems to have the general knack for it.
That's good.
She's not she's not Cora, but she's also not Tabby.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, we talked about Tabby tonight a little bit.
Mm.
Yeah. I think the conversation with Ellie was good. So I think there had been a little bit of like, you've never done anything to me, but you are indirectly making my life more difficult. So it's like, what do I do with this person? But it does, seem like they're getting to know each other a little bit better. And hopefully that's something that's felt on the other side and is good. With Cora, it was like, obviously it was very different. So I feel like Artem doesn't talk about himself very much. I did, a fair bit with her. So kind of a weird, like, he tries to like very much live in the moment and just try to, take on problems as they come. But it was a nice little recap for himself of who he is, where he is, what he's doing. And got to know her a little bit better too. And yeah, you should have. We could say that happened. That'd be pretty funny. Artem and Cora were both smoking cigarettes by the porch when Chris came to pick them up.
Cute. I would like
Yeah,
to
no,
throw in
also-
one thing into his personal stew.
Mm-hmm.
There was a joke earlier in the evening about him being the group tank.
Mm-hmm.
But being the tank only works when supported.
Right.
Otherwise, you're just more cannon fodder. And the second that the tank was in trouble, everyone descended upon the problem. You were not left to fend for yourself, even though you were not injured, but no one knew that at the time.
Mm-hmm.
It was, you were attacked, presumably with half your leg off, and they collectively went to work.
Yep.
How is Arden feeling about that?
Pretty good. Feels like back home, except it's more people. Very different setup in this group, but you know, he's never really had a team. It's really just kind of been him and Natalia, and then Zoya was just sort of this other like entity that basically meant everything was very different for them. The rules were different, basically.
It was more teaching from Zoya, less camaraderie.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'd say he's feeling pretty good about that. It's nice to not be left out to dry. That is always something that you learn to fear when you're relied upon to do, more dangerous work.
I feel like I interrupted you when you were about mid-thought. Was there something else you wanted to add to that?
I don't remember.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Unless there is anything else, I think that's where we're going to close for tonight. Thank you all for joining us. And we'll see you on, Friday if you follow over at Knights of Silver Moon from Martell. Saturday for Smoggle Screams, as he continues with Silent Hill F in the chat. Monday with our Deadbeat Starfinder game, which I'm sure nothing of any particular revelation has just been uncovered about the nature of the world, universe that they live in. And back with the new night of Savannah on Wednesday. But I believe... Oh, no, I guess we're not.
Yep.
We were going to raid into someone, but apparently not tonight. So, thanks you all for sticking with us. We'll catch you next time.